Ryuuji Takasu lives in a small apartment with his single mother, Yusaku Takasu, who works at a hostess bar. Their apartment is overshadowed by a large, luxury apartment tower next door. Ryuuji does all the chores of the house, and on his way to start a new school year, he finds that his looks still give him the reputation as a Yankee. As such, people fear him, giving him their wallets out of the blue. Ryuuji has a best friend named Yusaku, and Yusaku is good friends with a girl named Minori, whom Ryuuji likes but finds himself flustered when trying to talk with her. The three of them are in the same class, as is the short, mean-looking girl with the name of Palm Top Tiger. When Taiga runs into Ryuuji in the hall, everyone expects a fight and are amazed when Taiga punches Ryuuji out of her way. After school, Ryuuji is returning to his homeroom from the teacher's room when he finds Taiga trashing the place. He tries to get his bag, but Taiga tries to insist it's her bag. Ryuuji points out that her bag is on a nearby chair, but Taiga insists. However, Taiga sneezes and loses her grip. Realizing she has lost the battle, she leaves with a baka insult. Ryuuji can't leave the classroom as it is, so he cleans up the place before going home. At home, Ryuuji discovers a love letter from Taiga to Yusaku, thereby explaining why Taiga was so keen to get his bag, having placed the love letter in the wrong bag. He's tempted to read the letter but doesn't because there's no letter in the envelope. About 2 in the morning, Ryuuji is awakened by a noise in the apartment. Since his mother won't be home from her job yet, he decides to check it out and finds the balcony sliding glass door open. Taiga is in a nightgown and armed with a wooden sword. After dodging, getting hit for a bit, and damaging a door, Taiga is going for a finishing blow until Ryuuji says that the envelope was empty, after which she collapses. Ryuuji ends up feeding Taiga, who is apparently very hungry. Ryuuji is amazed by this and starts to ask about Taiga's parents feeding her, but then remembers that everyone's home situation is different. To try to make peace with Taiga, he shows her a box full of things he's done for the girl he loves, including poems, MDs of songs he's made, etc. However, one of the artifacts has the name of the girl Ryuuji likes, Minori. Since Ryuuji likes Taiga's best friend and Taiga likes Ryuuji's best friend, it would seem an alliance is in order. So, Ryuuji agrees to listen to whatever Taiga has to say, just not at the moment. This satisfies Taiga, who heads home unworried about her safety because of the sword she carries. Making breakfast later that morning, Ryuuji gets a screaming phone call from Taiga and he hangs up right away. She immediately calls back, not happy with being hung up on, but instructs Ryuuji to go out to his veranda. He does so and is stunned to see Taiga in the new apartment building in a window just across from his apartment. Taiga threatens Ryuuji but agrees to give him 10 minutes to finish cooking breakfast. Since she's hungry, he's bringing her some food too. Entering her unlocked apartment, he finds the stench pretty bad, despite this being a luxury apartment. It is scarcely filled with furniture, but there's a lot of garbage and a sink full of nastiness. Ryuuji finds her sleeping, so decides to clean up the place. Taiga wakes back up and is amazed to see her apartment clean and breakfast on the small table, and that Ryuuji is the cause of it all. She sits down and starts to eat without the traditional itadakimasu that's said before eating. Rather than give Ryuuji complete satisfaction, she decides to give thanks to the rice god and manufacturers for the meal. Because of Ryuuji's promise to help her, Taiga has started developing a habit to come over to his house for breakfast and is having him make her lunches, because of her failed expertise to cook. They run into Minori on her way to school, and when Minori starts to misunderstand from seeing the two of them together, Taiga claims that they only met by coincidence. This leads Ryuuji to realize that in order to succeed with Minori, he'll first have to get Taiga and Kitamura together. Their initial plan takes place during gym class. Ryuuji and Taiga pair up to toss a basketball around with the goal of Ryuuji throwing a basketball at Kitamura's partner. He would then rush that person to the infirmary, allowing Taiga to re-pair up with Kitamura. Unfortunately, to complicate matters, Kitamura also pairs up with a girl, and Taiga ends up getting distracted, so she doesn't avoid the basketball in time and instead gets hit in the face. The next plan involves Taiga giving Kitamura some cookies she baked during home economics class, but Kitamura is in a rush, so Taiga has to chase him. In doing so, she accidentally slips on the stairs, and Ryuuji has to catch her, but her cookies go flying out the window. This latest failure depresses Taiga because she feels that she can't succeed. So Ryuuji tries to make her feel better by eating all the ruined cookies and saying that they were delicious. Unfortunately, a new obstacle soon develops for the two. Because of how much time they're spending together, their class has started to believe that Taiga and Ryuuji are a pair, and are going out due to the amount of time that they spend together. The rumors quickly spread to Minori, and she takes the two onto the rooftop so that she can formally ask Ryuuji to take care of Taiga. To make matters worse, Kitamura is there as well, and he also misunderstands. Both Taiga and Ryuuji are heavily heartbroken, and Taiga even apologizes to Ryuuji because she feels responsible for the whole situation. She had been living alone because she had not gotten along with her own parents and had felt at home at his house. She feels that no one understands her, and she takes her frustrations out on a utility pole by kicking it multiple times. Ryuuji joins her, and their kicking eventually causes the pole to slant a little. This small victory causes Taiga to decide that she'll confess her feelings to Kitamura, and she claims that Ryuuji can stop being her dog. Along those lines, she declares that, starting tomorrow, the two of them will just be classmates who live next door to each other, and she then bids Ryuuji farewell, leaving behind her lunchbox. The next day, Taiga doesn't come over for breakfast, and Ryuuji sees her at school. She doesn't speak with him. What Taiga does do, though, is raise a huge commotion in the class so that everyone knows that she and Ryuuji aren't a couple, and even Minori apologizes to Ryuuji for her misunderstanding. Taiga then calls Kitamura outside so that she can confess to him, and Ryuuji just so happens to overhear it all because he's in the stairwell. Before she can say that she likes him, Kitamura first asks if Taiga is going out with Ryuuji. Taiga responds by denying that she likes Ryuuji, but she also admits that she doesn't hate him either, and she notes how he made her delicious fried rice, cheered her up, and stayed with her. It was because Ryuuji was with her that she is able to finally confess her feelings to Kitamura now. Kitamura, however, misinterprets her confession to mean that she wants to be friends, and that leaves her in shocked silence. After Kitamura is gone, Ryuuji reveals himself and asks Taiga what she's going to do. She's ready to go home, so Ryuuji offers to make her dinner, but Taiga claims not to want his help anymore. Ryuuji, however, feels he can't leave her alone and decides that he's not a dog, he's a dragon. Since old times, dragons have ranked up with tigers, so he'll continue to be by her side as a dragon. All this, including the fact that Ryuuji called her by her given name instead of by her family name, shocks Taiga, and the only way she can think of responding is by kicking him. She returns to her normal bossy self and starts ordering him around again, but she's secretly happy and satisfied that he called her Taiga. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you